Today we're going to react to a Brad Lea video, 11 sales training basics beginners must have. We're going to react to it and show you how to implement these techniques into real estate. If you like this style of video, let me know by clicking the like button below.
Focus on. Number one, the art of the introduction. Make sure that you understand one thing. Sales are about relationships. So make sure that your appearance is as fresh as it can be. Make sure your breath don't smell like you ate some kind of sandwich. Make sure that there's no food on your clothes from lunch, and by all means, make sure that you smile. See, you're being judged from the second somebody puts their eyes on you. Don't make it difficult to like you. Don't make it difficult to do business with you. So make sure you master the art of introduction. Now, a tip for the art of
That's facts. What Brad is talking about is important, right? This is even before you have a conversation. So let's say this is a face-to-face appointment. These sellers, they're judging you before you even say a word to them, right? So make sure you smell nice, you don't stink, right? Your breath smell good, you got some presentable clothes on, you look good, you feel good, and you walk that appointment with some confidence. All right, so that's what he's talking about there.
A tip for the art of introduction is to smile, dude. You have to smile no matter if you have so many teeth missing it looks like your tongue's in jail. You need to smile, extend your hand if it's over virtual media.
So big. I talk about this all day, right? Especially this is so important when you're over the phone. When you're talking to sellers over the phone and you're not in that face-to-face appointment, it's super important for you to wear your expressions on your face because people can feel that. People can feel when you're smiling on the other side of the phone. They can feel when you have a serious face or a straight face or a curious face, an interested face, right? So one of the biggest hacks to make it a friend and this introduction step and just getting it to be as smooth as possible is to have a big ass fat smile on your face when you're entering this phone call.
Well, mediums such as Zoom and other things, you need to smile. If you're on the phone, you need to stand up and smile, even if it's over the phone. Folks, you have to master the art of introduction. That is key. You also have to master the art of asking great questions. You see, too many people think selling is all about talking, and it's not. The better questions you ask, the better information you'll get. The better information you'll get, the better you can build value in your product or service.
Exactly right. There's three things we should be doing on each call, right? We should be asking really good questions. We should be recapping what the seller is telling us, and we should be telling third-party stories.
And you know when a sale takes place? When the value of your product or service exceeds the value that they put on their money. It's pretty simple. As soon as you get
Your solution needs to provide so much value to this seller's problem. You need to solve their problem so well that they are willing to either sell on a discount or sell it in a non-traditional way, maybe sell on terms because it is actually solving their problem.
Simple. As soon as you get the value of your product or service above the value of their money, an exchange takes place, which is what you're trying to accomplish. So if you're asking good questions, that allows you to get the ammunition and the information to ask further questions in a conversational manner and get from the customer.
Those good questions that Brad is talking about, you can find them in the motivation video, the checklist, the 5-part motivation checklist. It's on this side, Nick, and this side right here. Go watch that video to get these really good questions that Brad is talking about.
Customer the information you need to properly build value in your product or service. And in order to do that, that brings me to number 3. You have to master listening. See, a lot of salespeople, they're not really listening to the customer. What they're doing is they're trying to hear what the customer is saying.
We just talked about this today with my team actually. And one of the things that I said to start the meeting off is most people think the best salespeople have the gift of gab and they're the best talkers, when in reality, they're the best listeners. Let's hear what Brad got to say about that.
So they can respond intelligently. They're nervous, they're not quite sure how it goes. Again, this is for basics, the beginners. But they get a little bit nervous, so when they're listening, they're not really listening, they're just listening to respond. They're not listening to understand. So you want to master the art of listening. Too many people go into sales and they're not listening to the customer. You have to listen to the customer. If you master the art of listening, you'll be 10 times better off than someone who doesn't. Number 4, you want to...
One of the tips that I have to mastering the art of listening is whenever somebody's speaking to you, repeat what they're saying to you in your head. So as they're talking to me, I'm repeating what they're saying to me in my head. And that way I'm comprehending everything, I'm understanding everything. Listen to understand, not respond.
4, you want to master the selling framework. See, you have to adopt a framework. You have to understand that there's steps to a sale. Now, a lot of people will say the first step
To get those steps to the sale, click this video right here.
to the sale is the meet and greet. I don't agree with that. I think the first step to the sale is preparation. Now, as long as you have a framework, you're going to be okay. Don't go out there without a framework. Okay, a framework just simply means step. You can go step by step by step by step. Make sure that you don't shortcut any of those steps because each one has a meaning. But you want to master the framework so you can make sure.
So just like our 6-part sales system, right? Brad is saying you need to understand, you need to have a sales system when you get onto these calls, and you need to be prepared. You need to understand every single part of that sales system and don't skip any steps.
That every single time is consistent, because once you find a groove and once you start hitting those sales left and right, you want to be able to go back and retrace your steps. You don't want to wonder, what did I say? What did I do? So you master the frameworks from the get-go. That brings me to the 5th thing that you need to master: asking for the sale. Too many people feel awkward or they miss the opportunity to ask for the sale. You have to.
Bro, the pretty girl ain't gonna go on a date with you if you don't ask her out. She ain't gonna read your mind, right? You have to ask for the sale. So, oh my gosh, that's so big.
Master the ability to ask for their business. There is a point in time in every conversation, in every presentation, in every demonstration where asking for the sale is appropriate. You don't want to be one of those people that have a customer leave and find out later that you didn't even ask for the sale. Most people never even ask for the sale. So make sure that you master asking for the sale. Make sure that that's something that you do every single time, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's not the right time, as long as you do it and you continue.
So the proper time to ask for the sale in real estate, when you're talking about real estate investing and wholesaling in general, is when we're in that problem solving step and we start to get those objections, right? And every time you overcome an objection, we want to ask for the sale. We want to ask for the close.
To do it, you'll be able to hone those skills and make that better. Number 6, follow up. You know how many salespeople don't follow up? If you ask, I think the statistics are about 90% of salespeople don't follow up beyond the first contact. Studies show that it takes between 7 and 10 contacts for someone to make an actual purchase. So
it takes us 13 conversations in real estate. In the real estate field, it takes on average 13 conversations with each lead to get a signed contract, to get a deal.
when the salesman doesn't follow up, how many of those customers are going to another salesperson and giving them the sale when you could have had it had you just followed up? But you want to master the art of follow-up. Follow-up isn't just pinging them over and over saying, are you ready to buy? Are you ready to buy? Are you ready to buy? Follow-up is an opportunity to build that relationship. Following up is an art, and you need to master that art of follow-up. Okay, and also don't forget a positive mental attitude. Let's call that number 7, a positive mental.
Real quick on the following up. One of the worst things is when you go through your pipeline and you're doing lead audits and you look up a property that's been in your pipeline that hasn't been followed up, and you see that that bitch is sold a month ago or a few weeks ago and you could have had that deal, right?
Attitude. You need to master the art of being positive. Yes, it's possible. Yes, it takes a little work, but I can tell you it's the difference between a 5-figure salesperson and a 7-figure salesperson. Just the fact that you're positive, you're smiling, you're optimistic, you're solution oriented, your enthusiasm transfers. So
the secret to being positive all the time is just being grateful, right? You have to look at the glass half full and think of everything that you have to be grateful about. And just know that whatever, even if you fail, right, you're learning something, right? So there's no reason to be anything other than positive.
So make sure that every single day you are working on that positive mental attitude and you are demonstrating positivity. When you get to work, leave your problems at the door, friends. Nobody cares that you got problems at home. Nobody cares that your wife's looking at frickin' your neighbor's butt. Nobody cares about what is going on in your life when it comes to buying a product or service from you.
I'm gonna just let Brad cook for a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, he's snapping right now.
They're there to get information and or solve a problem. So you gotta leave the problems at the door, keep a positive mental attitude 100% of the time. I know it's difficult, but it can be done, and that's one of the things you have to master. Number 8, you have to master the ability to have thick skin. You can't let a no bother you. You can't let other salespeople that'll try to twist you bother you. You have to have thick skin. You have to be resilient. You have to be, open to feedback, open to criticism, and you can't take it personally. A lot of times customers might be rude to you.
one of our core values is resilience in our company, because when you're on the phones, especially as a salesperson, you're gonna get told no way more than you're gonna get told yes. And this is about how you look at that. How do you view that? Are you gonna get upset? Are you gonna get in your feelings? Or are you gonna look forward to getting the no?
You can't take it personally. A lot of times sales managers might be rude to you. You can't take it personally. Folks, the sales profession is one of the highest paid professions in the world. You might expect a little bit of pressure. Well, a lot of people, when they get that pressure, they snap. They go home, they quit, they feel awkward, they feel uncomfortable, and they give up the program altogether. When, in reality, if they just would have mastered the art of deflection, mastered having thick skin like a rhino to where nothing bothers you, everything bounces off of you, and and your day goes beautifully every single day. That's the art of thick skin. Number 9, the one you have to master most is the understanding that sales is really just a matter of relationships. You're looking to help people solve problems. In order to do
the very first step in our sales system is making a friend, right? The introduction is to make a friend. And we're going to solve their problems, right? Figure out if that friend that we just made has a problem.
Do that, you need to build relationships. So if you can master the art of building relationships quickly, establishing trust quickly, you're going to have a better opportunity to ask those questions, get those answers, build that value, and make that deal. Okay? Building relationships.
It's so much easier to do a deal with somebody who likes you and is your friend than somebody who doesn't like you. Now, I'm not saying you can't do a deal with somebody who doesn't like you, but it's a lot easier to do it with somebody who likes you. Especially real estate. Real estate is relationship-based business. There's so many deals that I do every single day just based off of relationships alone, based off of who you know, right? It's not what you know, it's who you know. All right, guys, so comment below what videos you want me to react to next. I'll catch y'all next time.
They tryna talk, they not in a room. I've been so real,